What's going on, dope fam? Back with another video. Hope you guys have been doing well. For today's video, gonna do some Bitcoin market analysis, gonna cover Ethereum, and also gonna cover our base native token assets, TOSHI, alien based world mobile token, etc. So without further ado, I'm Dope Oxide. I make content on YouTube, X, and CoinMarketCap, so be sure to follow my pages, be sure to like and subscribe, and let's get right into it. First of all, just a little question to you guys. What thumbnail do you guys actually prefer? Do you guys prefer the one with my ugly head or just the traditional one with the chart and the text on top? I'm pretty curious what you guys prefer, so comment down below and let's get right into the video. First of all, for liquidations, we actually had a decent amount of liquidations today, $315 million, and that just shows the volatility is increasing. I do believe this volatility is going to massively spike on CPI numbers this week. Next up is liquidation heat map. We actually have a lot of liquidations getting built up right next to us at the 113k level. If we zoom out to the 2-week, as you guys can see, we have a lot of liquidations right above us. Pretty much all the way up to 115k, we have multiple 50 million plus liquidations. So let me just give it a little count. 100 mil, 200 mil, 300 mil, 400 mil, 500, 600, etc. So I really do think once we get to 115k, we're probably going to hit well beyond the $600 million mark for liquidations, and things are going to get very spicy. Next up is the Ethereum to Bitcoin chart. Same thing, we're still consolidating. Nothing has really been broken. No trends have been reversed. And really, once again, once we do see that confirmation above this trend line, the 0.041 region, I do expect continuation to the upside. Next up is the Ethereum to USD chart. And once again, we just have to wait for that breakout. Had that breakout and retest for the consolidation, but we really want to see a higher high to be printed. And once that higher high gets printed, which is basically anywhere above the 4,490 region, once we do have a breakout above that level, I do expect a full-on reversal to happen for Ethereum. Next up is Bitcoin. Bitcoin is actually having a decent green day as it stands, and we're actually about to close in 1 hour's time. And if we do get this 1 hour close, it's going to be our highest daily close since making that marginal lower low at the 107k level back in 29th of August. And things are actually looking great. It's taking its time, but the markets are technically reversing and making a series of higher highs and higher lows. So as you guys can see, higher high, higher low, and looks like we're about to print that higher high. And once we do print that, we will probably confirm that the low is in, and more than likely we're going to have some new highs getting printed for September. Next up is Total 3 chart. I did tell you guys Total 3 is actually looking really good right now. And once again, like, we're back at that equal high range. And once we do break out of this equal high range, I do expect a massive influx in volatility and a nice little spike to the upside. Because as you guys can see, this equal high resistance has been put in place since the 22nd of July. So it's actually a decent resistance level. And once we break out of that, I do think our next target is that previous high that we made for this cycle, which is the 7th of December 2024. And that's about the 1.15 trillion area. And once we break above that, sky's the limit. We're going to make new all-time highs, in my opinion. And once we do make all-time highs, things are going to get very spicy for our base chain token assets. Next up is others. Basically, same thing as Total 3. We're waiting for that breakout. And once we do see that breakout, we're going to see a massive spike in volatility. The only difference is for the others chart, we have a lot more resistances to cover. So as you guys can see, we have a major resistance at the 360 billion area, as well as previous all-time highs around the 450 billion area. The others chart has a lot more work to do. It's to be expected because the others chart is basically all of our altcoin assets that are pretty much below the $1 billion range. So basically all the assets that have massive volatility, but a really good risk to reward when it comes to potential multiples. Next up is stock market. Stock market is actually going pretty strong right now. It looks like it wants to make another all-time high this week. But like I said yesterday's video, I want to see a proper price discovery run to the upside, not these marginal higher highs, because this just shows me that actually might be weakness in the charts. But something to note is we're actually having higher lows, which these higher lows is actually saving the chart, in my opinion. And it sort of looks like we're actually better squeeze here. So if I actually draw a consolidation line here, look, it looks like a wedge to me. And if we do break out to the upside, the target is the wedge depth. And that target is way beyond the 6.5k area. So around the 6.7k level is the target. So let's get that confirmation. If we do get that confirmation, I really do think that our crypto assets will go massively risk on, because the stock market will obviously just keep chugging along. Next up is our base native token assets. So of course, TOSHI. TOSHI had a bit of a spike today. I have a lot of things going on in this chart, so I'm going to quickly explain it to you guys. So of course, we had the RSI. So the RSI chart is basically our momentum indicator. Basically, one bullish thing to note is the price was actually consolidating for over a week, but the RSI momentum was actually flipping to the upside. So that tells us seller exhaustion is in, and buyers were stepping in, protecting the price and protecting this very significant higher low. As you guys can see, basically Toshi is in a massive wedging pattern. And let me just delete these RSIs just to make it easier to see. So once again, Toshi is in a massive wedging pattern, and we've been completing these higher lows since the Coinbase listing. And basically, as long as these higher lows are protected, I do expect that breakout to occur for Toshi. And this breakout and inflection point is basically sometime in September, maybe October. And if we do get that breakout, I really do think the next target is all-time highs. Of course, none of this financial advice. This is just all just my opinion, and I'm just relaying what I see to you guys on the charts. But when it comes to Toshi and other possible catalysts, so of course, when it comes to catalysts, we want to look at different things to note about, and I have some really good news around the meme coins. So be sure to stick around because I have really strong alpha to suggest that Toshi is about to have a massive run along with a lot of meme coins on base and other chains, which will of course help other meme coins really pump to new all-time highs. Next up is Alien Base. Alien Base is doing the same thing. It's chugging along. It's making higher lows technically. And as long as these higher lows are protected, I do think the trend is up for Alien Base. Same goes for Alien Base though. We actually have a momentum flip to the upside while the lows are actually being protected for Alien Base. So this is really good to see because all we have to wait for now is the price to also reverse. And just something to note as well, let me just draw this line, these two lines as well. So this short little consolidation pattern on the lower time frames, making a series of lower highs and lower lows, but the RSI is actually trending to the upside. This tells us, once again, buyers are stepping in and seller exhaustion is happening as it stands right at the higher low target. So let me just delete all these circles as well, just to make it easy for you guys to understand. So basically, as long as these higher lows are protected, as you guys can clearly see here since the 8th of April, it actually means Alien Base is making progress. The chart is actually getting protected and being really healthy as it stands. And Alien Base, once again, is in a really good spot for risk to reward, in my opinion. Next up is World Mobile Token. I covered you guys this chart basically last week as well. And World Mobile Token actually looks really bullish right now. I really do think this is actually a series of 1-2, 1-2s. And we're actually in the midst of a 3-4 as it stands. And really what we have to wait for now is, of course, a retest of our accumulation range. If we don't get that, it doesn't mean, of course, it's bearish. It just means it might get overextended later on. So let's see where we go about that. But of course, you do not want to fade accumulation range breakouts. I really do think that World Mobile Token is probably going to make all-time highs sometime this bull cycle. The fundamentals are just too strong for this token. Over 2.5 million users worldwide, the biggest telecommunications Web3 protocol on base, as well as other chains. And I really do think that WMTx has some massive legs and will probably lead the fundamentals kind of niche, in my opinion. World Mobile Token is literally the biggest, strongest fundamental project on base chain, and that has a lot of merit in that. And I really do think that the chart is actually looking great as well. We had a massive 76% retracement, had a nice little accumulation range for how long? How long was it? The accumulation period was for over 177 days. So that's a long time to accumulate. This breakout just tells me the bottom is in, and more than likely we're going to see all-time highs for the end of this cycle, more than likely the end of this year. Next up is the altcoin season chart index. We saw a new marginal higher high getting printed, and I don't think it's actually, so it hasn't been updated. It's going to update probably in 50 minutes, so we're going to miss the update. I do expect probably a higher high to be made here because really, like, if you guys expect the markets to go risk on, if you expect Bitcoin to make a new leg up higher, if you expect Ethereum to go all-time highs, we can probably assume also the altcoin season chart is probably going to print multiple 75 plus. And if we do see those prints happening, more than likely our base native token assets go absolutely risk on and really just have monster runs to the upside. Next up is the FedWatch tool. And once again, rate cuts are guaranteed for September. At the very least, it's going to be 25 BPS. I don't think it's going to happen where we're going to have 50 BPS rate cuts. I just don't think that's going to happen. So that's something to note there. The base case is 25 BPS for September, which will of course help with the markets, help with the economy, etc. So next up is tweets. First tweet is actually by me. If you guys haven't already, follow my page. I make content around the base chain ecosystem, so be sure to follow. My handle is @DopeOxide. So what's the tweet? So what happens to Toshi when Doge does a generational run once again? Billions, lots of billions. So as you guys can see from this chart, this is just a little fractal for Doge. Doggy likes to put one of these moves once a year in bull run cycles. If this thing goes for the $1.20, I would happily sell there and would commit to paying out my fund bag, a dinner and a nice out to one of my followers. So as you guys can see from this fractal, look, pretty much Doge in bull cycles likes to do an absolute giga run to the upside for a very short period. And if it was to happen, it's going to happen very soon, because if you assume the bull cycle ends at the very latest Q1 next year, Doge is going to have that move. And according to this fractal, at least, the target is minimum $1 plus. And look, and what does this tell us? This is going to tell us that Doge is going to have an absolute giga run to the upside, and we can expect at the very least other meme coins to follow. And of course, since Toshi is the #1 meme coin of base chain, we can also expect this will actually really carry Toshi to new all-time highs, because if Doge is making all-time highs, look, the risk on assets like Toshi, Alien Base, and other smaller coins will go absolute giga runs. And this is actually backed by some really bullish news. So Clean Core Solutions actually acquired 280 million Doge with the strategic goal to accumulate first milestone target of 1 billion Doge in 30 days as the newly launched official Dogecoin treasury. So if you guys aren't already aware, there's actually going to be a Doge ETF this week. And more than likely, that is going to be the stepping stone for Doge to actually really break out and have something similar to this fractal actually playing out. Next and final tweet is by Charting Guy once again. So of course, Doge is looking great once again. Basically, every time the RSI moving average has been broken, so this moving average is the yellow line. Every time it's being broken, we can expect a massive run to the upside. So broken, massive run to the upside. It looks like we're actually about to get that print above the moving average. So we can expect at least 2 months of pretty much up only for the Doge token. So as you guys can see already, like we had 3 really strong green candles, 2 strong green candles here. So we can expect that 2 strong candles is going to happen for Doge. This is the monthly chart. So we can expect September, October, and November to probably be very bullish for Doge. And since Doge is the king of meme coins, we can expect also Toshi to have a massive run to the upside. But that's all to the video, guys. If you guys like the video, like and subscribe. Once again, be sure to follow my X page. My handle is at @DopeBoxside. I make a lot of content around the base chain ecosystem. But that's all to the video, guys. Have a good one. Have a good day. Peace.